Welcome back to a new video. For this week's reading vlog, I thought we could do reading Amazon's best-selling books of 2024. So I did some research on Amazon's bestseller list from last year and then had a look at which of those books were on my physical TBR, because my goal for this year is to focus more on completing my physical TBR, and there were quite a few. Just pulled up the list on here of the books that were on that list that were also on my physical TBR. So we have Where the Crawdads Sing, Atomic Habits, Fourth Wing, Intermezzo, The Bullet That Missed, and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So we have a reasonable amount of books to choose from, and with a range of genres as well. However, the first book that I have picked to read in this video is Intermezzo, as this was also on my January TBR, and we're still in January, bearing in mind tomorrow is the last day of January, but still, this was on my January TBR, so I wanted to start this one, and it's also been very high on my radar since it came out. I read Normal People by Sally Rooney and just really enjoyed that story. I'm looking for more like literary fiction reads as well this year, as I'm just really enjoying that genre at the moment. So I thought I would pick this one up as the first one for this video, and we'll see what it's about. All I know is that it's literally about two brothers who are kind of navigating life after their dad passed away, and that's literally all I know about this book. I don't know whether it's any more than that or just about the mundaneness of life. I'm not sure, but we'll see, and I'll come back with some thoughts, and then obviously we'll pick from that list that I've just read out of potential books that we could read for this video, as like I say, there is kind of a wide range of books on there, so we'll see which ones I'm feeling next. And give you an update on Intermezzo. So I started this last night and I'm now on page 79. So we have two different point of views. We have both of the brothers, so Peter, who is the older brother, I think he's in his 30s, and Ivan, who is 22. So the point of views are so different. Peter's point of view is really difficult to read. It's not full complete sentences, it's very choppy writing. It's like puts on coat, walks across street. It's not like Peter puts on his coat, Peter walks across the street. It's very just, there are words missing in the sentences, if that makes sense, whereas Ivan's is full sentences. Obviously you're living in their point of view almost as if in their head, so Ivan's is obviously very different from Peter's because they're very different characters despite being brothers. I do enjoy reading Ivan's chapters more just because my dyslexic brain doesn't comprehend Peter's chapters as well, but we're getting there. It is at the moment very much just these people have lost their dad and we're going through their lives. We're literally watching them do everyday mundane things. There's not a plot so far. Whether there will be, I don't know. But it's just kind of what they're going about in their current lives. I think they're about to intertwine in this chapter maybe, as we've only seen them separately so far. We haven't really seen them together. So yeah, I am enjoying it so far, but I don't really know what the plot is, if there is going to be a plot, or if it is just following the lives of these two people who have lost their dad and how grief can form in different ways. So I'm going to carry on reading this today. I have got some plans this evening, so I'm just going to try and get maybe a chapter or two in now and see where I get to before I have to go and do my plans. I also have plans tomorrow, so it's kind of, there's not a lot of reading time going on in the next couple of days, but we'll see how much I can get finished. Let me know whether you struggled with Peter's chapters too, because at the moment they're so choppy and my brain is just like, I cannot comprehend these words that you're giving me. It's just not working up there. Intermezzo. I'm now on part 3 of the book, so I didn't realise it was in different parts, but I'm now on part 3, so I'm on page 326, so I'm hoping to finish it off today because I think I've got just under, or maybe about 100 pages left. This book has literally taken me over a week to read, just the writing style and stuff, and I feel like there's not much of a plot happening. It's very much just the fact that these people have lost their father and just how they're coping with that and events that happen in their lives, and it's literally just a tale, or not even a tale, a telling of these two people and what they're doing. Yeah, there's not like a specific plot line or anything, but I'm gonna try and finish this off today because, like I say, I've been reading it for a while. It's not like I'm not enjoying it, because a lot of people have just said, like, if it's taking you so long, like, just DNF. But it's not that I am not enjoying the story. I am very much enjoying it whilst reading it, but I feel like just the storyline and stuff is taking a while to comprehend. But there has been some major quotes in here that I have really enjoyed. Life related quotes. This one. And what if life is just a collection of essentially unrelated experience? Why does one thing have to follow on meaningfully from another? And this was relatable because I am a person in my 20s, so everyone in their 20s has these problems you're talking about. Feeling left out and thinking people don't like you. Literally all the time I'm like, that person hates me, because, and I have no legit reason to think that, but I literally feel like everybody hates me all the time. Try and finish this off today. I might have some more quotes towards the end, but like I say, I am enjoying it. It's just taking a lot of time to process, get through. I feel like it's not a sit and binge book, it's just a take it as it goes sort of book. And I was tempted to download it on my Kindle, but it was quite expensive, and I was like, no, I've got the book, I'll just read the book. So I'm going to try and finish this off today, and I'll come back with final thoughts, and then we can move on to our next book that we're going to read in today's video. On Intermezzo because I've now finished this book. I did end up enjoying it, but I just feel like there just wasn't a lot of plot, if that makes sense. It was just very much the events that happened in the wake of these two people losing their dad. Like, that literally is what the whole book is. Like, there is no other explanation for what the plot line is, because that is literally all that happens. So I feel like if you're not into literary fiction, this is not the book for you, but I still did enjoy it, and like, while I was actually reading it, I was enjoying my time reading it, but it just was quite slow, but I still enjoyed it. But I'm gonna give it, I think I settled on a 3 for this. So not my favourite Sally Rooney book, but again, like I said, I still enjoyed the process of actually reading it, so I think I'm going to settle on a 3 for this. The next book that we're going to read in this video is one that's been really highly anticipated. I wanted to read it all of last year and just didn't get around to doing it, and I've heard amazing things, and that book is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which is obviously the first book in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. There's 3 books in total, and I think maybe a novella as well. So this is the book that we're going to be reading next, and I'll obviously come back when I've started it, give my thoughts and stuff. But I like that there's like mixed media and stuff in this book, so I think there's like interviews and recordings and stuff in here, which is really interesting. I love when a book has like mixed media and stuff in there, and I feel like I'm in the mood for more YA, don't have to think so much book. Like, I loved The Naturals, and I'm in the mood for something maybe similar to that, so I'm hoping this might be a little bit similar. So we'll see, and I'll come back with thoughts when I've actually started it. Just started this morning, so I'm currently on page 20, like 28 maybe, something like that, just over 25. I am enjoying it so far. I like the different mixed medias in here, so like transcripts of interviews and just like some screenshots from social media and just stuff like that. It's really interesting. If you don't know what the book is about, basically the premise that I've got is that there was a case that happened in their town, and Pip, who is our main character, has chosen to basically study this case for a school project. She doesn't believe that the outcome that the police said, so they said that someone is a killer, and she doesn't believe that that person did this crime. So basically, as part of her school project, she is looking to uncover or try and find out maybe what happened instead. She hasn't necessarily told her teachers that, she's just to write an essay on it. She's basically investigating this case again. She doesn't believe that this is the outcome, so it's really interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. This book has been on my TBR for honestly the longest time. I just need to get around to reading it, and I am glad that I have picked this one up. I think I'm definitely in the mood for something like this, so I'm going to try and binge a lot of it today because I don't really have any other plans for the rest of the afternoon. And the stuff that I did read this morning, bearing in mind it was only a small amount, I was enjoying. So, and it flies through quite quickly because, like I say, there's different media. It's not just her talking or from her point of view. It's a lot of stuff about the case and then bits of her life as well. And do an update on this book before I literally binge the whole of it, because for the past couple of days I have just been non-stop binging this book. I've literally got this much left and I'm going away for work this afternoon, so I'm hoping to finish this off before then. I'm on page 313 and there's like, I want to try and find the end, like the page without ruining the end for myself. 433, so just over 100 pages left to go, so I feel like that's quite doable in the next couple of hours. So I'm just going to sit and read the rest of that, but I'm literally loving it so far. It's very much giving Pretty Little Liars vibes, so I feel like if you liked that TV programme, you'll probably like this book / series. I haven't read the rest of the series yet, obviously, but we'll see how it continues. Obviously that base is based on like how this book ends, but however, some of it, because it feels so realistic, I have not been able to read some of it before bed. I've had to stop because it was like freaking me out. But we're in, so the book's in 3 parts, we're in part 3 now. So she's kind of got her suspect list and she's making her way through who she thinks has done what, and like following each step now to try and determine which one of those suspects she thinks has done it. But someone is basically telling her like stop looking, stop digging, so she knows she's on the right track because someone's literally telling us to stop looking. I'm literally going to binge the rest of it and then I'll come back with final thoughts probably this afternoon, hopefully, maybe when I've got to my hotel that I'm staying at. But yeah, I'm going to try and finish this and then I'm hoping to take the other book that I'm going to read for this video away with me so we can read that one as our final book for this video. But I can't wait to know what's happened. I literally just need to know, and I've heard the series just gets better and better, so I'm just really intrigued, but I just want to know what's happened. I'm literally on the edge of my seat to know who has done this or what has happened. Or yeah, I'm hooked on the fact that her body was never found. That's one thing that I'm just like, it's never been found, so what happened to her? I'm just so intrigued. Which I'm gonna give 4 stars. I think I really enjoyed it. I feel like with the series going on now that I understand the characters and some of the stuff that's happened, I'm not sure where we're going to go with the rest of the series, but I'm still intrigued and I want to read the rest of it. So I feel like now that I've got that backlog, or what's the word, like history around the characters. I feel like it's just going to get better, so I'm excited to continue. I'm now reading the next book for this video, which is Where the Crawdads Sing, which has honestly been on my physical TBR. Like, I've actually had this book probably for about 2 years, and obviously the film has come out now, which I haven't watched and I don't want to watch until I've read the book, but I am really intrigued by it. So basically there is rumours of the Marsh girl, and then a crime happens in 1969 where Chase Andrews, who is like a popular guy in the town, I think he is found dead in the marsh, I believe, or like in part of their town that's linked there. And they immediately suspect Kaya, I think that's how you say her name, so she is known as like the Marsh girl. She kind of just keeps to herself, but she's not what people think. They have a perception on her because her family isn't really that wealthy, and she kind of has a bit of not the best home life, so they don't really perceive her as what she is. You know, she's just a quiet person. They don't really perceive her as that though. So we have past and present tense, so it's told in 1952, which is when Kaya was younger, and then in 1969 when this incident happens with Chase and he's found dead. So I'm currently on page 40, so I haven't got too far into it, but just, yeah, a couple of chapters. I'm on chapter 6, so I've kind of got a little bit of a backstory on Kaya and her home life, and then I've just got to the point where they have found Chase and kind of just putting together a couple of theories, just very loose theories. Under 400 pages, so it shouldn't be too bad to read and finish in the next couple of days. I'm about to go out to dinner, but when I come back I'm going to continue reading this, maybe just get a couple more pages in. In and give a bit of an update. So as I said, I went away for work and I thought that I would finish this book in the week, but it got a little bit busier than I thought it would, so I didn't end up finishing it. But it is now the weekend, so I literally got home on Friday and I've only got this much left, so I feel hopeful that we'll finish that off today. We're currently on page 278 and there's 360 something, so just under 100 pages to go. I am enjoying the story so far, but it's not kind of what I thought it was going to be. I didn't realise it was jumpy so much between past and present tense, and I feel like it didn't drag too much in the past tense. Like, it gives you the relevant pieces and then jumps forward a year or so and just kind of says, in the past year this has happened. Like, it doesn't linger too much on the past, if that makes sense, but I thought it would be more just set in the present and focus more on the investigation of what happened with the crime, but I didn't realise it would jump to the past. However, now we are predominantly, like now we've gotten to this point, we are predominantly in the present tense, uncovering what's happened with this crime and why they think it's her that committed it. I'm not sure whether she did or not. There's not been much, there's not a lot to go off on in terms of whether you think whether she did it or not. I'm gonna go with not, considering that, I don't know, I just feel like her character wouldn't do that, but whether she was pushed to a point to do that, I don't know. I have some theories, but I don't know whether they're going to be correct or not. So yeah, I'm just kind of seeing now what the ending is. I kind of have some theories, but then I'm not really sure whether it's going to be that or not, so we'll see. To continue with this, and then I'll come back with final thoughts. Like I said, I think I should be able to finish this off today. Unfortunately, I didn't finish it in February, which is a little bit annoying because I wanted to finish it in February, but now it's March. It's the 2nd of March, and you know what, the sun is shining. I'm in a brilliant mood. Honestly, the sun coming out has really put me in a good mood, so I don't feel like this is necessarily a spring read, so I'm kind of like, I want to get this finished and then I can go on to spring reads. But I can kind of see why the books that we've read in this video are some of Amazon's bestsellers. I know a film has come out of this, which is why I also wanted to read this first and then I'll watch the film. I'm hopefully going to watch that this week so I can kind of see any differences and stuff. But like, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, that was amazing, so I can understand why that's an Amazon bestseller. Intermezzo, obviously Sally Rooney is a really popular author. That was her new release at the end of last year, and I feel like this probably has been driven somewhat by the film coming out, but also it's more of a historical fiction, so I think for those people who are more into historical fictions, I can kind of see why you would pick for this one. I'm intrigued to see what the ending is and where we get to with it. But like I say, I'm enjoying so far. I feel like I'm actually gonna have to read the full ending before I know what to rate it. Like I literally don't know what to rate this book whatsoever until I've finished it and determine it from there. But yeah, I'll come back and let you know my rating. I've now finished Where the Crawdads Sing, which I have mixed reviews on. So like, I liked the story and stuff, and the ending I was kind of like, oh okay, we're going with this ending. And I did like the kind of backstory of Kaya and learning how she became how she was, but I felt like it was a little bit slow. That was my only like thing. So I think I'm probably gonna give it like a 3.5 maybe. Like I say, I enjoyed it. I would have preferred more of the mystery aspect of the story, I think, rather than the backstory, as that's kind of what the book gives you on the back. Like, it's like about the fact that someone's died, so I think that would have been better if there was like more of the mystery bit, because I thought that's what it was going to be. Yeah, I actually still enjoyed it. Obviously, just I thought I was going to enjoy it more because I thought it was going to be more of a mystery, but still enjoyed it. And I feel like now I'm less worried about reading historical fiction, because this was more of a historical fiction and it was totally fine. I wasn't like lost or anything. So, but those are all the books that we're going to read in today's video. You can definitely see why some of them are Amazon bestsellers from last year. This was a really fun video to film because it kind of gave me like a bit of leeway with what I wanted to read, because there was like a few that I had on my physical TBR already. So that was quite fun. I might do this again at some point. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and let me know whether you've read any of these. I feel like probably a lot of you have read like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Actually, these are all quite popular books, so obviously because it's bestsellers, but maybe you have read these, so let me know your thoughts on them. Let me know whether you watched the film for this as well, because I was going to watch the film after I finished it. I will see you in the next one super soon.